Uh, Hi everyone. So continuing our next series of tutorials on our Atlassian Jira plugin development, basically Atlassian tools plugin development. So last time uh, in our last tutorial, I showed you our plugin was deployed inside the Jira server. So let's go ahead and open the Jira server. So uh, I thought of like going ahead with the previous way of creating plugins uh, without using the scanner thing. If you remember, if you have gone through my previous tutorials, but uh, it did not be a good idea because going forward, I think so that Atlassian is going to completely remove that thing, and so so my idea would be to go ahead and use this Spring Scanner when the whole world is using that, and Atlassian are pushing for the same. So going forward, we will use the new way of doing plugin development, and of course, uh, I will tell you the ways how you can continue your previous plugins, which were developed using the previous ways of doing plugin development, and I will also tell you what you need to do if you have to use the previous structure of P2 server plugins, uh, uh, like using Atlas CLI. And in this tutorial, I'm basically focusing on what advantage the Spring Scanner will bring, and what will the common error that you would be facing when you would be setting the Spring Scanner thing in your plugin. And I will also be walking you through the Bitbucket tutorial that Atlassian has provided for Atlassian developers. So yeah, let's go ahead and see the plugin which we already have deployed. And definitely, if you have any comments or any any issues with the videos, with the tutorials, or if you feel that I missed something, feel free to drop a comment inside the YouTube comment section. And as and when I get the time, or uh, uh, if it is something related to the code, I will definitely go ahead and put some time into that, and will provide you the solution as well. So yeah, so yes, so it's not enabled yet. So let's enable this. And if you remember in my previous tutorial, I finished exactly at the same point why we have these two plugins with the same name, right? So if you open the modules, we have tutorial plugin web resource module. If you remember, we added a web resource plugin module, and this is the tutorial plugin. And the next is this says that this is plugin test. So in my first tutorial, I mentioned that we are not going to use write the unit test cases inside our tutorial plugins. So if at all, if you want to go ahead and write your test cases, please feel free to go ahead with that. But we will not be covering that in our tutorials. Maybe at a later stage, I can think of like putting some test cases. So yeah, for now we'll not be looking into that. But yes, this is coming from this thing. If if you have already have generated the code by following my previous tutorials, you can see that there is another Atlassian plugin.xml, right? Okay. So let's close all. So what I will be doing is I'm going to remove this. Okay. Now we have our resource folder, we have our Java folder where we have the our class. This is all generated from the start. And I am going to get you through the errors that you would be getting when you would be setting your plugin for the Spring Scanner. So let's go ahead. Let me do one thing first. So if you remember, I walked you through what CLI is actually. So right now it says uploading plugin to server via is basically unable to upload plugin on this thing on the server that we have. So let's not bother about that because that is not we are not going to cover this error in this tutorial. So the idea is to understand the Spring Scanner. What Spring Scanner is. So this is the Bitbucket tutorial I was talking about. So it says is a set of libraries that makes plugin faster to load and easier to develop. So previously the plugin we used to develop using Atlas CLI, and without Spring Scanner, we used to go ahead and use Atlas CLI and PI plugin installation to basically redeploy our plugin with the new changes. So it says that uh, it has two aspects. The first is the build time aspect, where special innovations are found in your source to specify the private components and the OSGI services your plugin wants to give off and consume. So you may choose to go ahead and read a bit about this. This is Open Service Gateway interface. So, but I'm not going to spend my time on this. There's something that you'll have to uh, go ahead and read about it. And so when it says the innovations, so let me show you the what innovations are. So these are innovations: at name, at inject. These are innovations. So the tutorial is talking about that stuff. So the previous way of developing plugins were used to be called as P2 plugins, P2 server plugins. And now they have introduced the scanner thing, and now we call it as transformer-less plugins. So I don't know what exactly does it mean, but what my understanding is, you do not need to use Atlas CLI to redeploy your plugin with the changes, and it automatically picks up. Scanner basically scans your code, automatically picks up the changes and redeploy it without you doing anything. So yeah, you can say that it's a transformer-less plugin. And local tests, for example, show plugin that took 5 seconds to load now load in 2 seconds. That's really interesting. So version compatibility. So it says if you're using Jira 7.2 or larger version, then you'll have to use Jira Scanner 2.x. But the problem is previous versions of Jira does not support 2.x yet. So what I am using is 1.2.6. But you can go ahead and use 1.2.13 as well, which you will get when you create your uh, uh, structure plugin, basically the plugin that you get from the Atlas Create Jira plugin. So this is the version of the Spring Scanner that is really important.